A weldment is an object made up of multiple parts welded together. Designing a weldment in SOLIDWORKS is a bit different than designing a regular part or assembly. Weldments are treated as single parts made up of multiple bodies. The fact that you're working in a single part allows weldments to be represented as a single item in your bill of materials. As you'll see, SOLIDWORKS offers special weldment tools that make the design of weldments quick and easy. Before we begin, let's enable the Weldment tab in the Command Manager. This will give us access to all of the specialized tools necessary to create weldments. I'll right-click the tabs and select Weldments. Let's begin by creating a simple weldment. This will make it easy to understand the general procedure you must follow when creating this type of part. The first step is to create a layout sketch that will serve as the framework for our weldment. I'll sketch a 450 by 600 rectangle and exit the sketch. Next, I'll click on the Weldments tab in the Command Manager to reveal the weldment tools. What I'll do here is add the first structural member to this weldment. To do this, I'll click the structural member icon revealing the Structural Member Property Manager. The first few settings allow you to define the characteristics of the structural member. I'll select ISO as the standard and rectangular tube as the type. The size will be 50 by 30 by 2.6. Now that the structural member is defined, all we have to do is tell SOLIDWORKS where to position it. This is why we created the sketch. As I click each segment, SOLIDWORKS will create a structural member following the direction and length of each segment. You'll notice in the Group selection window, one group is listed. In the Settings section, you'll see the segments I've selected in the Path Segment selection box, followed by a number of settings including corner treatment, gap distance, and profile alignment. These settings will only apply to the path segments of the group that's highlighted. If I press the New Group button, a new group is added and I can select the remaining segments. The settings for these segments will not affect the path segments of Group 1. If I wish to edit Group 1's path segments, simply highlight Group 1 and its path segments are listed. One last thing about groups, notice what happens when I change the size of the tube. All of the tubes update. That's because any of these settings above the Group selection box will be applied to every group. For this example, I'm going to delete Group 2 and add all of the path segments to Group 1. You can control each segment's end condition by enabling the Corner Treatment checkbox. Notice that if corner treatment isn't used at all, each structural member will extend the full length of each sketch segment. This leads to overlapping geometry. To avoid this, I'll enable corner treatment. You can see the different corner options as I click each of these icons. By using the icons, each corner will have the same corner treatment applied. If you wish to control the behavior of each corner individually, all you have to do is click the corner point that you wish to change. This will bring up the corner treatment options. Here I have the ability to set the corner treatment and set a weld gap distance for the corner. Once you select an option and click OK, the treatment is only applied to this specific corner. To set the weld gap distance for all of the members, I can use this box here. This first spin box lets me set the gap distance between members of the same group, and the second box sets the gap distance between members of different groups. Because I only have one group, this box is grayed out at the moment. The last setting you can control is the position of the structural member profile. With the Alignment selection box, I can select a line segment and choose to align it with the horizontal axis or the vertical axis. By entering an angle, you can cause the profile to rotate, for instance to 45 degrees. I'll change this back to 0 degrees and click the Locate Profile button in the Property Manager. This allows me to change how the profile is positioned in relation to the sketch segment. To move the profile, I'll simply click any other point on the profile sketch. The profile will move and the preview of the structural member will update. I can also use the Mirror Profile checkbox and select to mirror the profile about the horizontal and vertical axis. Once you're satisfied with the settings you've defined, click OK to complete the structural member feature. After the first weldment is created, two new items are created in the Feature Manager tree. You'll see a feature called Cut List and another called Weldment. We'll take a look at the role of each of these features in the next few lessons.